Hey, this is Doug Small with the thought for the day. George Washington, our first president, said, "The propitious smiles of heaven can never be expected on a nation that disregards the eternal rules of order and right which heaven itself has ordained." This was George Washington. Last time I quoted Thomas Jefferson, the supposed deist, who said, "I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just and his justice cannot sleep." These men, these founders were concerned about this nation going astray in some way. George Washington's namesake, 150 years later, George Washington Carver said, "The secret of my success, it's simple. It's found in the Bible. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths." It behooves us, if those voices are true, to humble ourselves before God when he is offended, when his holiness is offended, as it has been in the last 60 years, with all the egregious sins that we have accumulated without national repentance. These are not just personal sins, these are national sins. These are the sins of our cities and our states. We must give account to God as a church, as a city, as a nation, for these sins, and ask for clemency and ask for God's forgiveness. Abraham Lincoln said, "I am profitably engaged in reading the Bible. Take all of this book upon reason that you can, and balance by faith, and you'll live and die a better man." Why has America sought in the last 60 years to untether itself from the Bible, to forbid reading the Bible, to forbid prayer? Why have we taken this wrong turn, and why have we as Christians been so silent? I'm calling the nation back to God. I'm calling the nation, 1,000,000 of you. Would you join me? 1,000,000 people praying for 1,000,000 people to be saved from Passover to Pentecost in 2026. It's the only thing that will save us. This is Doug Small with a thought for the day. This is Doug Small with Prayer at the Heart and the Million Souls Campaign. You've probably heard the story of the old man walking on the beach that was littered with starfish swept up by the tide and left to die. He's picking them up one by one and tossing them back into the ocean. A young jogger comes along and stops for a moment to watch him and then challenges him. Old man, behold, the beach is littered with starfish. What difference does it make? Picking up yet one more, he smiled at the young jogger and said, "Well, it made a difference for that one." You can make a difference for one, and together we could make a difference for 1,000,000. Why 1,000,000? Well, we need a tithe of the nation. Great awakenings are measured by about 8 to 12% of the population coming to Christ. It wakes up a nation when that many people find God, rediscover Christ as the center of their life. We can't push over 35 million, not at one time. That's too big a domino, but we could begin with 1,000,000. Each year, we are seeing just under 500,000 people come to Christ in the course of a whole year across the whole evangelical spectrum. If we saw 1,000,000 twice that many as we're getting in a year. 1 million saved in 50 days from Easter, Passover to Pentecost. That could be the first domino of a huge spiritual awakening. You feel like at times, and I do too, I can't do a lot. I couldn't do that, but I could do one. I could pray for my family-like friends, people that I work around, people that live next to me, and we'll show you an easy way to do that. And I could look for opportunities to share Christ with them. You've got 2 invitation Sundays here, Easter and Pentecost, and 50 days to pray for your one to come to know Christ. Would you be one of 1 million praying for 1 million people, for your one in 1 million to come to Christ? Project 2026, Prayer at the Heart.